Espresso coffee, Italian coffee on your own, cappuccinos, lattes. You don't need to be barista, you don't need to know much about coffee. I love my machine more and more every year. You can make such a good coffee in such a small machine. What? You can have it for a little over 200 bucks? Nothing like that on the market. Okay guys, it's finally time to introduce you to my best friend as a mom. Well, no, second best friend, because dishwasher is my first best friend. This is my favorite coffee machine, espresso coffee machine. This baby is almost 6 years old. Delonghi Dedica. This is the first one that came out in 2013. In this video, I'm just trying to give my honest review and give you a few reasons why you should pick Delonghi Dedica. What stole my heart right away is the size. We live in an apartment, we definitely can't afford taking half of the counter space for a coffee machine, and so being about 6 inches wide, having this deep design, you can just put it right in the corner of your counter, and we definitely did not want to pay a premium price. Right now on Amazon you can find it somewhere in $230 range, even for the newer models. I will leave all the links down below. This coffee machine is extremely popular. Even this model that I have, the oldest one, right, which by the way I will link a good video comparing all the 3 Dedicas. Just this model was bought just on Amazon over 900 times in the past month. I also recently heard that people travel with coffee machines, and I was like, oh my god, it's genius. Every time we would go somewhere, we would be on a hunt for a normal coffee in the morning. But if you're traveling by car, you can bring your coffee machine with you because it's so little. It's portable. Never thought of that, but I might bring it next time, because I mean this Starbucks prices nowadays. I love my machine more and more every year. There were so many times when we would be out or just in the morning, do you want a coffee, you want to get Starbucks, and then we would be like, I don't want to pay $7, I can make my own latte. Of course we go to Starbucks sometimes, but we certainly most often choose to drink coffee at home every time we would even consider going and buying a coffee, because we have a very tasty cappuccinos, lattes, espressos, cortados, whatever you want at home. And I would argue that my little $200 espresso home coffee machine makes a better coffee than Starbucks. Like I said, you don't have to know much about coffee. You don't have to buy a grinder machine. You don't need to make sure you press it well enough. Like, it does not, the simple version, the first version I have, it does not even come with a proper temper. It comes with this plastic one, and I've been using it all along. You don't need a fancy one for this machine, because if you are using this part that it came with taken up a notch, you can buy a different one, the ones the baristas use, but I'm not there. The cups are pressurized so that you don't need to worry about putting enough pressure, the measuring everything. It's like just throw some coffee in, tap it like real quick. It will always make a perfect espresso with crema. So it's been almost 6 years, and to be honest, we did buy a new one of these. This is pretty much a brand new one. It costs about $30 on Amazon, but I mean, almost 6 years with the previous one is a very good time spent, especially with the coffee consumption in this house, because then we had 2 kids after we bought it. And you can also customize your espresso shot, where you can pick how hot your water is gonna be, also how much water you want in your shot. You can set it up for an auto turn off. It takes about 30 seconds to warm up. I heard people say that, you know, making your own espresso with this kind of machines where you have to do everything on your own, it takes time comparing to like the one with the capsules. Well, I would say that warming up the capsule machine, whatever it is, if it's an espresso or Keurig, they do take time to warm up too. And they also do take time to make a coffee. And I would argue that you can make yourself a coffee using the same time frame. Seriously, it's very fast and easy because the machine does most of the work for you. And then of course, if you want to treat yourself with a cappuccino or latte, you can get a very nice foam using this frother that it comes with. The newer models have a bit of a more advanced frother. Those are seriously for baristas, so seriously for just very passionate coffee lovers. It has a heated tray on top for the cups. It does not get very hot, but it's better than nothing, especially on a cold winter day. Also, it has a drip tray. The water tank is pretty big. You can make a lot of espressos with that. Because it's so small, it can overheat at some point, so you might not be able to make like 3 espressos, 3 cappuccinos in a row without turning it off and turning it back on, but that's not a big deal. And of course, you have to maintain it as any other espresso machine. Just throwing it out here that you will need to descale it. It will indicate with the orange light that it needs to be descaled. As a busy mom, it's not happening very often, and so far, knock on the wood, it's working, and I do need to descale it and clean it. We've been buying the Delonghi descaler. I believe there is some warranty time where you're supposed to use only that one, but there are a lot of options like conventional regular descalers, but it's all worth it. The time to descale it, it's just giving it love. It's one of the best buys we've ever made. It's probably one of the most used things in our home, and you certainly should try it for yourself, especially if you don't have any espresso machine, if you're doing just a regular coffee or the capsules, which, just a side note, most of the capsules, they have that aluminum foil, and then hot water and the coffee is going through that capsule and through that material, and a lot of toxins and not very good products end up in your coffee every single morning. So you should certainly think of getting an espresso machine, and this one is just an amazing one to start, but also by switching a couple of settings and maybe getting a couple of new tools, you can take it to another level. So you might not even need to buy any other machine, because when I used to think of an espresso machine and what I heard from other influencers, it all sounded like they're $1,000 and up. And of course, this massive design, but I got so lucky I found the Delonghi Dedica. My personal favorite coffee to use with this machine is Lavazza, pre-grinded one. For my taste is just that perfect roast, but you can certainly get yourself a grinder and grind your own coffee, because it's gonna be more fresh if you grind a little bit at a time, and it should have even better, richer flavor. As far as I'm concerned, there is no other brand of coffee machines that offer the same size with the same quality and the same price range. Dedica Delonghi coffee machine made espresso at home more possible for much wider audience. So in case you were considering a capsule machine, do your health a favor, get Delonghi Dedica. They're about the same price, and the coffee you're gonna get out of both of them are like day and night. You can't even compare these two. Every time I offer my guests a cappuccino or latte, when they try it, they're surprised, like, wow, this is so good. Which machine do you have? When I show them my little tiny Dedica, they're like, what? You can make such a good coffee in such a small machine? And what? You can have it for a little over $200? Yes, there is certainly nothing like that on the market. 100% recommend. You will save so much money on coffee and enjoy it every single time. Give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in this video.